back. Manny, come back. Yeah, I really wanted to play close. Someone needs to lock.
Tiny pumpkin over here.
When you cut into a pumpkin, you never know if it's going to be thin in flesh or if it's going to give you a lot of bulk. Not only did he pick a really large pumpkin, he picked a really good one because it's not fighting him back.
I use the melon baller to pop out pieces of pumpkin and flip them around to make the boils. I wish every challenge was the pumpkin spotlight. I just love it.
Eric was in season 10 of Halloween Wars, and he was in the finale, but he didn't win. He's back to prove himself and show everyone that he knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to pumpkin.
Eric, that is so epic. I mean, I could put this out there right now and we'd still win. It's fine. We're good.
Any harder.
I'm just kidding. To get the shape of the costume, I'm building it up with white modeling chocolate. Modeling chocolate's so forgiving, and it's so much like clay that you're really able to sculpt the details in there. And then once I get it to a point that I feel like I'm happy with it, then I'm going to cover it with the green color and sculpt in all the fine details. Ready to start the face.
Shannon is very obsessed with doing realism, and I can already tell the story just by looking at her face.
God, I love pulling sugar.
I still have a lot of sugar elements to do. I have a sugar lamp to produce. I also have all the leaves, so we add movement like wind is blowing.
Cut.
Are you talking to me?
But I'm so excited to make Eric's claws. Eric was the star in the scene, and we're just the supporting actors.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Now I got it.
I build our sun dragon first, and then I move on to our little girl character. Instead of coating her in the vinyl ganache, I drape fondant on top of her to create this ghost costume effect. Dude, now this is a record. Man, I don't know. I think I found my new little niche. Not to take myself too seriously, right? I'm finished with my first two characters, which are the smallest of the three. I move on to the father dragon while Alan starts painting.
I'm trying to highlight my detail work and my paint work, so hopefully that'll woo over the judges. Dark first and then highlights after. I listened to Shinmin.
Shinmin gave Alan really great feedback in our previous challenge about airbrushing highlights and lowlights in our pumpkins. And so Alan really needs to take heed to Shinmin's advice.
Shinmin wants, Shinmin gets.
The stakes are very high because it's going to be coming down to the final four after tonight. So I want to make sure, we can continue moving on and keep pushing and pushing and pushing. We're going pretty hard on this one. There's a lot of decorating to get on. Our idea is to have it look like a little neighborhood that you'd be just leaving the house from. A spooky tree in the back, painted in brown buttercream.
What do you think?
That's looking good. That looks like bark. I want to get to the house and I want to get to the cobblestone. Set it right on the edge of the board. We wanted to have like a cobblestone street. So Becky is making these beautiful cobblestones out of ice malt.
Oh, that's a great job, Becky.
The aroma is crazy.
It has all three chocolates in it. Yeah, I just coated it with silver.
The other side wanted to look like a house. Putting fondant down a little thicker than normal and then making impressions with a ruler. You can simply take some different colors of red and black and brown and brush it over without getting any of the white mortar parts covered.
I'm blocking out the body, so it's got all the parts. Still a lot of work to be done. And then another arm, and then obviously a head, and then probably a bunch of snakes.
Matt with Death by Deco has just the foundation of his pumpkin work done. He's a little behind. I feel like at this point, we'd love to see some design and some details taking form. So I'm a little worried for him.
This is the biggest piece that Matt has ever done.
All right, awesome.
I'm poking holes for my soaking liquid, so when I pour my liquid, the cake absorbs it all, just like so. We're gonna pour it, and all those holes help the cake absorb it better.
For our tasting element, Jonathan is making a tres leches cake with a toffee crunch encased in a chocolate mold.
I'm basically gonna make a toffee crumble for my dessert. I poured my toffee batter right over some salted almonds. I choose to use a silicone ice cube mold because I kind of want it to look like a mini candy bar. So I temper my chocolate, I coat the inside of the molds, and then I fill it with my toffee, my tres leches cake, and then I cap it at the end. This is the last of my tasting element, and I'm gonna be so relieved when it's done.
I am delicately carving these thin strips and then layering them I'm trying to create the illusion that this mummy is all wrapped up. To create that mummy effect, I'm gonna be using strips of pumpkin over the bulked out armature so it looks like it's all wrapped up like a typical mummy. I don't think I've ever done a mummy like wrapped up before. It's usually because this is so tedious. Like, this is such a tedious thing, and like you have to pull the layers so thin for them to be flexible enough to place. Does she look like the beautifulest mummy princess?
She's gonna pick up all the dudes.
The first one, we were bottom 2. Obviously, the second one, we showed them what we're capable of. Now we won it. This one, we have to keep the streak going. Like, we are the team to beat, and we got to make sure that everyone knows it in spades.
I remember in the first challenge, that main character was predominantly made of pumpkin. And then in the second challenge, Kyle took over. Now this is squarely back on Sarah.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing the time really getting to her.
Once I get him into a basic body shape, I really need to do the head.
So what's actually hard for me during this challenge is I have to take a step back and let Bloodstain take the lead. So on my Plague Doctor, I'm doing very obvious detail, but in a much smaller fashion because it's in the background from the Jack-o'-lantern character.
Teams, we are more than halfway done. Only 3 hours left on the clock.
Okay, now I'm gonna unmold my desserts. Unfortunately, the silicone mold isn't as forgiving with chocolate as a normal bonbon mold would be. Jamie.
Yeah.
These molds suck. Like, there's absolutely no way I can serve these to the judges like this. I need to come up with a plan B, and I need to do this fast.
Jonathan, who is creating the tasting, is having a tough time unmolding the chocolate truffles from his molds, and they're just not looking good. Which must be hard because Jonathan is a perfectionist.
Yes.
Should just let them cool down, like, come to temp before, because I put them in the freezer.
Yeah, just get them out. However you can. Manhandle it.
Last week, Jonathan's tasting element is what saved us. It showed how important the tasting element is to every single challenge.
I think I'm gonna pivot and change my mold. Unfortunately, the mold I was using is not meant for chocolate. So I'm just remaking new chocolate shells, and I'm taking my current dessert and just putting them into the shells. It's not gonna resemble a candy bar like I expected, but it's going to be the same exact concept, but I gotta hurry.
Teams, you've only got 2 hours left. 2 hours to go.
2 hours. Something that I started doing a long time ago is just have a toothbrush to brush off my tools as I go. They get really gunky.
Matt starts carving out Medusa's face.
Pumpkin's just basically a water balloon with gross stuff on it, so keeping the tools clean. Plus, my dad's a dentist, and if I don't have a toothbrush on me, he gets mad.
Matt actually wanted to become a dentist. Until like he was 20, he watched a cartoon and then just fell in love with animation. And now he's a phenomenal pumpkin artist. I think Matt would really benefit from the satisfaction of the win because of how he chose his life path and to express his art in food.
I am working on some snakes for the hair. Gonna just carve them up, shape them, and stick them in.
This is my weird meta pumpkin within a pumpkin. Make it look like a mask the pumpkin is wearing. And I'm gonna put like a burlap texture on it so it looks like he's just pulled the cowl off Scarecrow. And I'm gonna try something I've never done before, which is inlay a piece of the pumpkin so it actually looks like the pumpkin underneath. I am so happy to be here. I mean, I feel like I'm home. This is exactly where I want to be every day of my life. Carving pumpkins, making scary things. We've come this far and I just want to keep going. It's important for me to win because I am one of the most Halloween-y people out there. I've been carving pumpkins since at least 10 years old. Pumpkin carving's in my blood. Halloween is in my blood. And I'm bloodstained.
All right, he's on. So right now I'm blowing a sugar crow.
Sarah's gonna make a bunch of sugar crows attacking the jack-o'-lantern.
I'm trying to make these crow wings each a little different so they all have their own unique kind of motion.
Sarah has pulled and blown the crows.
Yes.
The crows have to look menacing. It's making me feel more like a cute little bird is coming to say hi rather than a crow's coming to peck my eyes out. The reason for that is because their wings are just a little too small.
Okay.
The crows are really big birds.
Yeah, they're
and
huge.
these look like friendly little sparrows.
I'm browning my butter so I can add a touch of nutty flavoring to my chocolate taffy.
For the tasting element, we are given a traditional Halloween candy, which was chocolate taffy.
I have a cherry puree in there. So I have a cherry-infused chocolate taffy, and it's going to be delicious and chewy.
Emily comes up with an idea to do a cherry bomb chocolate taffy pop. She pulls the taffy to make sure to incorporate air and to get that really signature taffy texture.
I thought I would infuse it with some maraschino cherries, bring out that burst of flavor. I'm gonna roll this into little balls, and then I'm gonna dip it in ice malt that's been flavored. We have chocolate taffy.
I'm literally about to be ready to color, like very, very, very soon.
That sounds great, and I will be with you. Christina is now doing this painting technique that she loves, using luster dust.
She used the luster dust on pumpkin in the very first challenge, and that worked out really well because why? It was about this size.
Right.
And this is 3 feet tall.
Right.
I think she needs to use about 20 containers of luster dust to even fill just the front of the skirt. The better way to approach that is to just airbrush a base color and then dust the luster dust over it to get that shine, because the pumpkin sucks up all the color.
So when I'm airbrushing, I like to use straight food coloring, liquid food coloring, bright colors.
Eric is taking this sculpture to the extreme.
Creeping him up a little bit. Adding some guts hanging from his mouth.
He's literally using not only just the pumpkin, but he's using the stems, he's using the seeds, he's using the pumpkin guts.
I cannot believe that this is the same team that we saw in the first challenge, where they were having a hard time figuring each other out, working together. And now there's just this contented hum coming out of that team.
Ooh, come on, baby. I still have a lot of sugar elements to do. I have a sugar lamp to produce. I also have all the leaves.
Taper, taper, twist, pull, off. Pressure mold, press, 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 press. Pull up, twist.
Bad news. 1 hour left. You've got 1 hour.
God. There's not a lot of time left, and this pumpkin is not looking like Medusa dressed up for trick-or-treats. So I'm quickly adding colors to this Medusa to try to bring her to life. As team captain, I kind of have to make sure everyone else is being successful on our team. Not many people will put buttercream on a pumpkin, but I will. The face was very lacking in detail, so I decided to just quickly get some black buttercream and start drawing the face on for him. No. Oh no. The whole thing fell off.
Oh, I feel so bad for Matt, and this is where I think Al's demeanor is really going to come into play.
Yeah.
So listen, Matt, instead of the back of the head with more pumpkin, we're gonna just get some modeling chocolate, all right? Yeah. Just cut a piece and just gotta start working it like hair.
You gotta lift it.
Okay. That's the best thing to do right now. Yep. It's really important to me to make sure my team's feeling good. I don't want anyone to ever feel like they didn't do their best. I want them to leave this, no matter what happens, feeling amazing.
Death by Deco is in triage mode right now.
Maybe blend that color in with the rest.
I'm gonna try. I am on like speed demon mode right now.
20 minutes left. You have 20 minutes.
So it's our pecan praline crunch on the bottom, and then we have the silky bourbon milk chocolate ganache on top.
Sarah is going to make her tasting element look like moths that are stuck around the house.
Just be careful of these moths because they're like balancing.
I'm looking at Alan's pumpkin carving, and the sculpting looks great, but the pumpkin over the dragon's head is a little small to scale. I have an idea to create a banner to kind of hide the scale of the pumpkin and to add to the story that our dragons have gone through the town parade and took down the banner, and hopefully that disguises the scale issue.
Okay, I'm gonna add the tasting element.
Be scared. 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes left.
Hey.
Yeah, babe?
The light, forget about the light, I'm gonna do it.
I have a sugar lamp to produce, but I'm running out of time.
Really? Make a lantern out of the pumpkin.
That would be awesome.
I'm gonna make it out of pumpkin.
Eric says he can pivot. He's already finished the creature, and he can carve out an easy light.
As it was with that reptile creature, there was more pumpkin on this display than any other team.
Yes.
But now he's adding more. He literally punched a hole in the pumpkin to hollow it out and then made that lamp.
This is it. 1 minute left.
1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. Keep going. Okay, go.
You still having a problem? All the tasting elements is on?
Yep, all of them are on.
Why did you let me agree?
Oh, he doesn't know how to open a carabiner?
No, apparently not. I've made it really simple for everybody to figure out. Yeah.
I didn't do anything. You gotta reattach it whenever she comes in. Figure it out. That's just the teenage answer to everything. Whatever. I know, right?
To this.
10, 9.
Don't
8,
trip, don't trip, don't
7,
trip. Don't hit the gate,
6,
don't hit the gate.
You gotta get that crown on too.
4,
Yeah.
Quick.
3,
Quick.
Is that
2,
good? That looks good.
1. Time is up. Scream of the crop. Why don't we talk about this trick-or-treating monster right here?
This is A Murder Comes for Jack. So our main character right here is made out of pumpkin. The plague doctor is made out of rice cereal treats and modeling chocolate and fondant. Sugar are the crows that are flying.
Kyle, I'm so proud of you. It's been, what, 10 years since we've seen each other? Your artistry has grown, your sense of confidence in what you do has grown, and I really love seeing that. It makes me want to cry.
I think that you went for it. The face is my favorite part. You put so much emotion and texture and highlighting. I think that you could use some more texture in the rest of the body, and I think you would agree. I like your sugar birds. I just don't think they look like crows. I don't think that they look menacing enough. I think they look a little sweet, like somebody else I know.
Oh my God, you think they look like me? Oh my gosh, that's so nice, Hardy. Thank you. What was your candy and what are we eating today?
So our candy was a chocolate-covered wafer cookie. We have a milk chocolate bourbon ganache with a pecan praline crunch and a brown butter pecan shell with a little orange tweel cookie on top.
Hats off to you making them look like moths. I think that's really cool. And an added way of like taking your tasting element and making it make sense in your design. So great job there. That ganache, I just want to bathe in it. It is so silky.
This is really yummy, and it definitely tastes like a really sweet Halloween candy. I'm not sure if I'm getting the chocolate-covered wafer candy reference.
Scream of the crop. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is called Franklin's First Trick or Treat. Franklin over here is cereal treats, modeling chocolate. The gravel's actually a mix of different chocolates, believe it or not. The star of our piece, Medusa, the princess, is entirely made out of pumpkin.
Matt, you didn't choose an easy character. You went for Ding Dang Medusa. I really like her face. I think that there's a lot of emotion there. I do think that your snakes look a little friendly. And Becky, I adore your sugar cobblestones. I didn't realize that they were sugar.
I know today is the pumpkin challenge, but Al, you created a character just as large. And Matt, you really gave us a giant pumpkin here. I think that you could have put more detail in the shading of your pumpkin because right now it's so stark orange and green. The finish looks a little simplistic.
So what was your tasting element today?
Our candy was chocolate-covered nougat.
I made for you a chocolate bourbon nougat glazed in a gourmet chocolate. Trick or treat!
Okay, Becky, I can definitely taste the bourbon in here. It brings a much brighter, kind of slightly bitter, almost citrus note to it. But because you added the bourbon, the nougat is really soft and it's tasting a bit wet as opposed to that nice chewy texture that you would expect from a nougat.
I love the sort of caramel notes that the bourbon brings to it. I like the milk chocolate. I think you could have used a good sprinkle of salt over the top of it because it's sweet on sweet at the moment. And just a little bit of salt would have been great.
Death by Deco. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you're never too old to go trick-or-treating, and what better house to visit than the Candy Mansion on Witchy Lane in Halloweenville. The Mummy Princess is completely out of pumpkin, and Jonathan has the ice malt windows, and Zeke the zombie is made out of cake items.
First of all, I want to talk about the environment. I feel like the zombie in the back really looks like it's just caught by the collar and he's trying to get out. I also just really love everything in the background, all the colors, all the finishes. Now, in the front, we have the pumpkin challenge. Christina, your sculpting is incredible. You're able to get these super clean edges, and that's what makes your work so recognizable and also so realistic. The one problem I have with this pumpkin is the paint job. The pumpkin has sucked up all the luster dust that you put on there.
I think the thing is that everything else on this design in terms of color is so bang on. And then you have this transparent wash on yours, and so it ends up looking messy and it ends up looking unfinished.
Yep.
That's a shame to me, especially today, when today was your day.
So, tell us what candy you got and what you made.
So we got chocolate-covered toffee. Typically with toffee, you think it's hard and crunchy, so I wanted to kind of change it up. I did a toffee almond tres leches. It's gonna have the tres leches base. It's made with amaretto, almonds, and it does have toffee in it as well. Served in a little edible chocolate cup.
You're so intelligent, it's scary. You gave us all the crunch and toasty flavor of toffee, but in this very sophisticated way with the addition of the tres leches cake. This is wonderful.
Thank you.
I didn't think this needed a tres leches cake, to be honest. When you're thinking of a toffee candy, you want it to crunch and crackle in the mouth, but then the crumbling of the nuts all around, you captured all of that.
Thank you.
Shriek Squad, great work. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Delectable Demons, tell us about this trick-or-treating monster.
There's no time to clown around on All Hallows Eve when candy is on the mind. And our monster just wants to get his claws on all the candy. But is stealing it the way to go about it?
I just wish there was a little more pumpkin. I mean, if you could just pump up the pumpkin.
Where is it?
I'm going on the record.
Okay.
The most pumpkin I've ever seen on a display in all the seasons of HalloweenWars. Yay! Serious job, Eric.
Yeah. Eric, one of my favorite parts here is the way that you kept these sort of membraney gills right here and got so much depth and like gore right there in the mouth. Shannon, I love that even though this was a pumpkin spotlight, you did not back down, sister. You gave us such a delightful character. I love how much emotion is just right there. And Bria, I love the multi-tones that you got in the leaves. It was really pretty and really gave it that autumnal feel.
What was your candy today, and what'd you make for us?
I got sour candy. So I have made for you a white chocolate shell, and it has a passion fruit marshmallow with a passion fruit reduction.
Bria, I'm still chewing, and that to me is sour candy all day.
Yep.
It is sour, it is chewy, it is so citrusy. I love it.
Thanks. It's so smart because the passion fruit also comes back with that real kind of tartness, the sweetness.
This is the best thing you've made so far.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Delectable Demons, great job. Thank you very much.
You guys did a good job.
Our story is about Drago, who visits Earth from another dimension with his son. So our costume is entirely out of pumpkin. We have our cake witness to all the chaos. Drago's son is also made out of cake. Our tree is isomalt. All the candy is isomalt and chocolate.
Alan, Alan, Alan. This pumpkin work is really great. I think your shading work is exquisite, but so is your carving. You carved so beautifully deep and uniformly across all of those pumpkins. And one of my favorite parts here is in that third character. I did not think you needed it, but what this third character adds is that sense of like, what the heck is happening?
The little baby dragon in the back, if you just brought him forward a little bit, then I would be able to see the pole that he's using to hold up that dragon costume. And because he's so far back there, I don't see that pole, so I'm not quite understanding what's happening there.
So tell us what candy you got and what your tasting element is.
We got chocolate taffy, so I did a cherry-infused brownie taffy pop, and then I coated it in a isomalt candy so that it looks like a sucker, and it's got a touch of sour kick to it.
You really captured that chocolate taffy texture. It is so chewy. And the isomalt that you dipped it in gave us that really lovely crunch that I definitely did not expect.
It was such an eruption of flavor, chocolate, cherry, sour. Every single time I bit into it, there was a different evolution of that flavor going on.
Two ghouls and a butcher. Great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
With the first spotlight shining brightly on the pumpkin carvers, we asked you to go big or gourd home. And you did, so congratulations. But one of you really smashed it. The winner of this challenge is... Delectable Demons. Congratulations. Now for the trick part of the night. Two of you are up for elimination.
Death by Deco, you embraced the spotlight this week with your 3-foot-tall Medusa. Unfortunately, it wasn't fully successful. And Becky did some really nice work, although your treat was a bit sweet.
And Shriek Squad, you find yourselves in the bottom again this week. The sugar and cake work were really successful, as with that amazing tres leche cake. Christina, your pumpkin mummy was also looking good until you started to paint it. The piece left us feeling more trick than treat.
The team going home tonight is... Death by Deco. I'm sorry, but your time on Halloween Wars has come to an end. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys
Thank
very
you, guys.
much. Thank you so
guys.
much.
Thank you.
Good luck, everyone.
Thanks.
Good luck, guys.
That means Shriek Squad, Two Ghouls and a Butcher, Delectable Demons, and Scream of the Crop. We'll see you next time. Thank you. On the next Halloween Wars,
All right.
the 4 surviving teams look for monster love in all the wrong places.
I just got to give her an upper lip that doesn't look like Botox.
When vampire dates
He's sexy.
go wrong.
Previously on Halloween Baking Championship.
For today's main heat, create graveyard pumpkin desserts.
Halloween, baby.
Rudy, screaming corpse. Oh, fantastic.
Thank you. One baker rose from the grave. Rudy.
That's your coffin on that plate right there.
It was a corn dog without a stick. For one of you, the haunted hayride ends here. Audrey.
It's crazy that I'm in the finale and I'm the only woman. Only mom. Gotta represent.
Welcome to the finale.
I know. Okay. Season 1. Season 10, man.
Last time in the lab, the bakers made some tricky transformations.
Snarl. Shablam.
Look at that color.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time.
Yes.
Lillian's evil sheep cake warmed the judges' hearts and stomachs.
That looks like a nightmare, but eats like a dream.
Fantastic.
And JL's giraffe cake sent him packing for the cryo chamber.
Yikes.
Sorry, I got a guy coming to look at that. Tonight, mummies and skeletons come alive.
bit of the jaundice.
Oh, gosh. Like I told Tina, clean up this mess.
Can I have some?
I mean, look, he at least looks like he's enjoying himself.
He had a long day. Yeah.
Go on, Mommy, get! Get!
Oh. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Why?
It's actually pretty fast for a mummy. Bakers, welcome to our fermentation lab. This is where I store all of my wines, cheeses, and canned goods. And our undead friend is always sneaking in here because he has a very sophisticated palate.
Wow.
He's all about umami.
Oh. Umami.
So for your thriller challenge, Mr. Mummy needs his sweets, or he will unleash his ancient curse on all of us.
Oh.
So in honor of our mummy who's obsessed with umami, you'll be making umami desserts.
Umami desserts.
Okay. The outside of your dessert should have the classic mummy linen look, and inside you'll have to incorporate one savory umami ingredient.
Okay. All right. I like this challenge. I like this.
Umami is your fifth taste, I guess. You know, after you have your salty, sweet, bitter, sour, umami is kind of a savory flavor.
When your time starts, you'll shamble on up here and grab a roll of gauze where you'll find the umami ingredient you have to work into your dessert. The baker who creates the most savory tasting and most unsavory looking dessert will win immunity from elimination in the Killer Challenge. You have 90 short minutes.
I knew.
I'm getting mummified just thinking about that.
Girl.
All right, bakers, your baking time starts now.
I got red wine.
I got soy sauce. For my umami ingredient, I got tomato paste. And that was the one I didn't want. So I'm a little bit nervous. Tomato paste is almost kind of like a one-note thing. You kind of gotta bring out the flavor somehow. It does have umami, but doesn't have a deep umami flavor. So I'm making a sticky toffee tomato pudding with a basil sherbet, a smoked paprika, tomato twill, and meringue, finished with a tomato caramel sauce. Do we have ice cream scoops? I'm making a sticky toffee tomato pudding because that's usually made around the fall. It kind of has those Halloween vibes, those Halloween flavors. And to make my dessert look more like a mummy, I'm gonna take my meringue and I'm gonna use a weave tip and kind of pipe wraps on my plate, and then I'm gonna burn it.
Wow. Okay, this is salty. So I got red miso. Red miso is something new for me. It has the strongest flavor, maybe a little bit funky. So I'm just putting it a little bit at a time and I'm tasting as I go. I am gonna make a red miso chocolate caramel apple tart. And to turn my tart into a mummy, I'm gonna slit my pastry dough. I'm gonna turn them into mouth and eyes, and then I'm gonna make gauze out of gum paste and arrange that around my mummy. And then I'm gonna make scissors because the mummy needs to cut the gauze to reveal its many teeth and mouth so that it can eat. Okay, into the oven.
For my umami ingredient, I got gochujang. Gochujang is a Korean red chili paste. Never used gochujang, so we're gonna run with the flavors on this one. So I'm getting a little bit of sweetness, but also I'm getting that like fermented pepper flavoring with it. For my umami dessert, I am making a pecan pie. I'm gonna gochujang. Caramel would definitely balance out the spiciness to it as well. To decorate, I will add wafer paper mummy strips that are airbrushed a brown to give it that old effect, mummy eyes, and a side of white chocolate whipped cream. For my dessert, I'm inspired by my grandfather, as we call him, Saucy. Saucy is clumsy, and I feel like he's always at the doctor's and always getting patched up with some gauze. And also, Saucy's favorite pie is pecan pie, and I have to pay tribute to him. Put my pecans in here.
Some Parmigiano Reggiano. The umami ingredient I get is aged Parmesan. Very lucky to have this one. I love cheese. I have it for breakfast any day. I'm thinking of making something that's going to look like a food because food stinks, and then I can make bandages around the food. The type of dessert I want to make is a no-bake cheesecake because I don't have much time. So I want to make a cheesecake where I just have to mix, freeze, and save a lot of time. I'm getting a taste of my Parmigiano Reggiano. See how pungent it is. Okay. I'm making a no-bake Parmesan mascarpone cheesecake with caramelized pears and a walnut Parmesan twirl. All right, I'm using a lot of Parmesan there. It's going to be very, very, very interesting. My plan to decorate my mummy is to give the shape of the foot of the mummy to my cheesecake. Then I will decorate with strips of melted chocolate, and that goes in the freezer.
1 hour remaining. The mission, umami desserts. At stake, immunity.
I'm starting to smell some of the funk of the fermentation in here.
Aaron, you, my friend, have a very strong immunity system because you had it again last week.
I like to stay healthy as much as I can.
Yeah. What flavor did you get of umami?
So I got red wine.
Red wine, great. Already you've endeared yourself to 2/3 of the judges. What are you gonna do with it?
So my plan is to do a cherry red wine jam, put some nice spices in there as well. And I'm gonna put that inside a toaster pastry, essentially. And then I want to decorate that with some stabilized whipped cream, pipe it over the top like the bandages, and some of the filling kind of peeking through the pastry to do like blood, decayed jawline, some eyes, and then serve it with ice cream.
I'm anxious to taste it.
Aaron, are you making ice cream?
Yes. I sure am making ice cream, or at least that's the plan.
That's so good. So my umami ingredient is aged balsamic, and I'm super excited to work with it because I honestly eat it every week. So for my umami dessert, I'm making a pistachio tart dough with balsamic strawberries and seared pears with ricotta filling. To decorate my dessert, I'm going to mummify my dessert by piping meringue bandages on top and torch it.
Holly, do you have the bravery to embrace the savory? Ooh, don't mess with Holly.
Oh, that looks good, Aaron.
Thank you. Nice texture. You get the amaretto, you get like the nice creaminess from the mascarpone. Really happy with how that turned out.
Woo! That one definitely has the kick. How is it going, Manny?
A little salty. A little lot salty. I'm a little nervous. I got soy sauce. Why did I get soy sauce? I have absolutely never used soy sauce in a dessert. So this will be interesting. I'm making a brown butter soy sauce caramel cookie with a soy sauce puddle in the middle, and a toasted sesame crunch topping, and a soy ginger fig reduction.
45 minutes.
Starlight.
Throw these bad boys in. For decoration, I'm definitely going to bring out the modeling chocolate. So I'm going to be doing the bandage pieces over the cookie and make it look like it's wrapped up. We're going to start at 15. I do want them to be a little bit soft. I don't want them to be too hard. And I just realized I forgot something. I forgot the secret ingredient, the soy sauce puddle in the middle. Oh no! This is not good. Lord, Lord, Lord.
30 minutes. Mummy designs, umami ingredients.
This is kind of an important part, so I'm glad I caught it right now. I want to push a little indentation in each cookie, and I add about a 1/4 teaspoon of soy sauce right on top. When this bakes, it's going to like kind of caramelize on top and add a really fun note on there. We want to make sure we're hitting that soy sauce.
All right. They look pretty good.
Next. While those toaster pastries are in the oven, I start working on some of my decoration. So I've got some marzipan that I'm working into some of my details. I'm gonna do some maggots, do some teeth, and hopefully an eye as well.
We're down to 15 minutes on the clock, guys. I'm seeing some great looking desserts. Not seeing the mummification yet. Don't forget to bring the mummy. Call your mummy. She'd love to hear from you.
That's cute. I fill my pistachio crust with my balsamic strawberry jam, pipe some ricotta filling, and finish it with my caramelized pears. And I'm going to mummify my dessert by piping meringue bandages on top.
Perfect. I'm gonna cool it for about 5 minutes. I get my tart out of the oven, and it looks like it is already a mummy. It just needs to be dressed. I have mounds of apples on my tarts, and I'm turning them into mouths and eyes for my mummy, because my mummy is really hungry. I'm giving it dimensions. I'm using gel. I'm adding like shading and shadows and make them more creepy and mummy-like. I'm gonna make gauze. So this is gonna be my gauze. It has that gauzy texture, so it looks creepy and dirty. I need red. After I'm done, I am gonna drape my mommy gauze on my tart.
10 minutes remaining, bakers.
So I'm gonna do a smoked paprika meringue, and then I'm gonna pipe it with a ribbon tip in the mummy bands over the plate and some of the dessert as well. So that's gonna be my mummy wrap part. And I might put little pomegranate pearls for the eyes peeking through the meringue. So I think it's gonna tie together pretty well. I'm gonna grab my modeling chocolate and my texture lines. Now I'm just going and adding a little bit more texture in. Gauze. I find some cheesecloth to do like an impression on my modeling chocolate so it really looks like a tattered gauze. My OCD is kicking in, and I know I could just cut them really quick, but I feel like the cleaner they are, the better it'll kind of come across, you know? And right now I'm just going ahead and putting on all the rest of my little gauze. I'm gonna go back and tatter it up, make it look, you know, little antiqued, if you will.
Now I'm unmolding my no-bake cheesecake, putting some caramelized pears on top, displaying it a little bit like if they were toes. Then I add the bandage twirl in the back of the heel. And finally, I make and add my white chocolate strips to look like the bandage are peeling off the foot of the mummy. It stays malleable.
Last minute mummification. Get it done, guys. Details.
Dusty mummy. Little dirty boy.
Ate one of his teeth.
Bit of a jaundice.
I'm going to get some blood.
10 seconds. That is a wrap on your umami desserts. Good job, guys.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord is correct.
Judges, prepare yourself for umami desserts.
Ooh, hey, sprightly.
You know our judges, Carla Hall, Zach Young, and Stephanie Boswell. What umami ingredient did you get, Manning?
Soy sauce. I made a brown butter soy sauce caramel marbled cookie with a sesame crunch topping.
I love how the bandages look frayed, the poking out of the eyes with that little sesame crunch.
I got a lot of soy. It was bold, it was salty, but it was soy. This is so good.
I am getting the soy, but I'm only getting it in the places where you splashed it.
Thank you, Manning. Thierry.
My umami ingredients is aged Parmesan cheese.
What have you done with it?
I made a no-bake Parmesan mascarpone cheesecake with caramelized pears and Parmesan walnut twirl.
I love the mummy's bandages. I also love that they kind of look like shaved Parmesan too.
The Parmesan comes through beautifully. The texture of your cheesecake is fantastic.
Shut up. This is so good. The rosemary perfect. The pears are cooked perfectly.
Thank you very much, Thierry.
Thank you.
Get out of here before I keep complimenting you. Run!
Oh my gosh, this was so good.
He did a Parmesan dessert, and I want to eat this entire thing.
Holly.
So my umami ingredient is balsamic. So I made a pistachio crust with strawberry balsamic jam, caramelized pear with honey and thyme, and for my ricotta pockets, I just put honey, thyme, and a little bit of olive oil.
I think it's simple, clean, but you are a crazy decorator. So I kind of wanted that like next step.
I think you handled the balsamic really well.
The strawberry and balsamic is so brilliant. I don't think it needed the pears. I just wouldn't necessarily put strawberries and pears in the same dessert together because they kind of don't make sense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aaron, which umami ingredient did you receive?
I got red wine. I've made for you a red wine and cherry toaster pastry with a mascarpone and amaretto ice cream on the side.
This maggot, I picked it up, went like, wow, that's really realistic. You've crossed the uncanny valley, my friends.
I get the red wine. It is loving one of its best friends, which is cherry.
This ice cream is, I want a pint. Pack it up. We're gonna take it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lillian.
I got red miso. I did a red miso chocolate caramel apple tart.
I mean, the texture of your gauze is fantastic. It's tattered, it's different colors, it looks old, it looks decayed. I think this is fantastic work, Lillian.
Thank you, Stephanie.
The red miso caramel is delicious. It gives you just enough salt.
This apple needs 1 minute and 43 seconds more in the oven.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, judges.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Hello, Joel.
Hello, judges. So sadly, I got the tomato paste.
Oh. And what have you done with the tomato paste?
So I did a sticky toffee tomato pudding, and I did a basil sherbet.
I don't get mummy. While you were doing it, just have a little more movement of the bandages because it's a mummy challenge.
I am so happy that you got the tomato paste.
Really?
What the tomato paste is bringing to the party is almost like that perfectly slightly burnt caramel flavor.
I don't think you needed pomegranate arrows on this. It's an odd texture. The pine nuts, however, more pine nuts.
More pine nuts.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow.
Hi, Megan.
Hello, how are you guys?
Hello.
My umami flavor is gochujang. It is a pecan umami gochujang filling with a flaky pie crust with a wafer paper mummy and then a white chocolate whipped cream on the side.
I'm not in love with this presentation. I'm not really getting mummy from it. I'm getting more torn paper.
It is delicious. I do think that the gochujang filling got overbaked and it's a little chewy.
It ends up eating like a chewy candy bar. It is so, so, so tasty.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Don't judge a mummy by her bandages.
Okay.
I mean, that was delicious.
It's delicious.
Bakers, your umami desserts were a graveyard smash. But one was immaculate.
Ooh.
That dessert was baked by Thierry. Wow. Your Parmesan mummy cheesecake creamed the competition.
Yes.
For winning the thriller, you, my friend, have earned this immunity potion. Come on up and serve yourself.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. But that means the judges will be expecting you to really blow their minds. You got it?
All right.
You cannot go home, so shoot for the moon. Bakers, this is the lab kitchen. This is where we eat lunch and talk shop. And this is Skelly. Skelly was the first ghoul to haunt this lab way back when the place was built in 1950. What keeps Skelly a cool ghoul is baking his favorite desserts from his heyday. But as the decades have slipped by, both he and his recipe cards have begun to decompose.
Oh, no.
So to prevent Skelly from becoming enraged, lashing out, and feasting on our human flesh, we need you to bring his desserts back to life. The only thing you can still read on each recipe card is a flavor and an element of each dessert. You'll have to use both of them in your version.
Oh.
The flavors, incidentally, are inspired by these Halloween candies.
Yummy.
I got these while trick-or-treating at my coworkers' desks. And just to be clear, you don't have to pack your dessert with candy bars. Just make sure to use your candy's signature flavors in your dessert.
Okay.
We have recipe cards in the pantry. They have a candy bar flavor and a dessert element. And decorate your dessert with skeleton-esque panache. We're giving you 2 hours for this killer challenge.
Oh my God.
When it's all over, one of you will be leaving the lab. No bones about it.
I'm looking at you guys.
Your baking time starts now.
Oh yeah, coconut.
I can't believe I'm laminating dough right now. I got wafers and milk chocolate and lamination. Lamination is basically folding over doughs and butter to create the nice layers and make sure it's flaky, it puffs up. Oh my God, it's so long. Baking a laminated dough under 2 hours is difficult, and there's a chance that my dough isn't going to be baked all the way through.
Lamination, how do you feel about that?
I feel great. I'm lying. With 2 hours that you gave us?
It's not a lot of time for lamination,
Not a lot of
is it?
time.
Well, what are you going to do with the rest of your flavors?
So I'm going to have 3 layers of my laminated dough, which is Blitz Puff, and I'm going to put milk chocolate in the middle and also my mascarpone with wafers in milk chocolate folded into that.
What about decoration?
So for decor, I'm gonna make it look like Skelly's graveyard, but he's just having like a little sunbathing moment.
Oh, okay. I believe in you.
Thank you.
Oh, so you're doing a graveyard too, Holly, huh?
Yes, Aaron. I'm sorry. Not really.
Well, you'll be sorry when mine does better. So my flavor is wafers and milk chocolate, and I was assigned the element mousse. So for my mousse, I'm making a smoked salt milk chocolate mousse, and then they'll have the layer of a wafer and matcha crunch in there with a nice sharp yuzu curd, and then a cookie sandwich crust on the bottom. And then to decorate, my goal is kind of described like a graveyard scene. I want to do like a nice fondant gravestone marker, and then skeleton bones reaching out of the grave. You know, as we get further into this competition, it's definitely getting a lot harder to keep up with everyone, but I gotta keep bringing it.
It's like a marathon. My flavor is milk chocolate candy bar with a crunch layer. I feel that this is a pretty easy pairing, and I shouldn't mess it up because milk chocolate bar is basically like a base to any dessert. It looks good. My dessert will start off with a oat crumble crunch layer, and it'll be topped with a black cocoa brownie that has potato chips and pretzels folded into the brownie. To top my brownie, a rice cereal skull, add a modeling chocolate bone and teeth. My over-the-top brownies look pretty good, and I gotta really get them in the oven now.
Okay, so I have my inlay batter here. My flavor is milk chocolate bar, and my element is inlay design. An inlay design is pretty much a design you pipe onto a flat surface you're gonna bake, and then you freeze it, and then you add another layer of sponge over it, and then it becomes like one image once it's fully done. I'm doing a milk chocolate Swiss roll with a Mexican chocolate and ancho chile whipped ganache. So we're gonna go ahead and just lay this all over. So to decorate, I'm gonna spookify it with my modeling chocolate rib cage that's gonna be hugging the whole Swiss roll. My inspiration for this dessert is my grandma. Together, we loved just eating the little cubes of the Mexican hot chocolate pieces and just remember her while I'm baking, because essentially that's why I'm here. Okay, now we're going in the oven.
90 minutes, bakers.
I'm gonna start on my meringue. I need 150 ml and not a speck of egg yolk in with my egg white. My flavor is peanut butter cups, and my component is compote. So I'm thinking of doing mini pavlova. I'm also gonna pipe out some bones, putting this in the oven. And then I'm gonna fill it with a peanut butter cookie, and then milk chocolate ganache and the plum compote.
To decorate, I'm gonna put my bones around my pavlova. I'm gonna have some marzipan skulls.
Oh, perfect. I wanted 4 ounces. I took a dollop and it was exactly 4 ounces, just the way I wanted it.
Is it like your lucky day?
It is your lucky day.
There's no luck here, buddy.
Thierry, congrats on your big win. You won the thriller, you have immunity, you gotta be feeling great.
Feel amazing.
Let's talk about your skeleton dessert.
I have the coconut and almond chocolate bar.
And what is your element?
Gelatin component. I'm going to make like a gelatin cake, but inside I'm not going to make a cake. I'm going to make a chocolate core that I'm going to fill up with coconut cream, coconut dacquoise, some milk chocolate ganache, and then I will put some nougatine fingers to bring the almonds.
And what about decoration?
So I'm going to decorate it as a skull, and it's going to be dropped into a gelatin sphere, so it's going to look like a crystal ball.
The judges are going to love that. I'm really excited about it. Good luck.
Thank you. I'm going to start with some coconut cream with a bit of milk chocolate ganache. I'm going to put a disc of dacquoise. Repeat with a little bit more cream. I'm going to smooth this up a little bit and put them in the blast freezer.
She's jiggling. I went to check out my brownies and they're still not done. I'm turning up the heat on my oven and I'm really hoping that can help the brownie cook a little faster.
1 hour. Joel.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Let's talk about your skeleton dessert. What element did you get? What flavor did you get?
So I got milk chocolate peanut butter cup with marshmallow. So I'm doing a cream cheese and peanut butter cheesecake, no bake, with the malted pretzel peanut crunch. And then I'm gonna do a sea salt vanilla bean marshmallow.
You're listening, man. You've got texture going.
I'm trying.
You're working your flavors. Let's talk about design. What are you gonna do?
So I'm gonna do a whole cake, and then I'm gonna garnish it with the skull head, and then I'm gonna put some piping chocolate, kind of like branches, so kind of like creepy bones. So last time I think I eased up on the decor, went too much on the flavor, so I'm still trying to find the balance.
Right.
I need to find that marriage made in hell. I was at the bottom last week. You know, the kitchen is getting smaller and smaller. I don't want to go home. There's a lot at stake here because I don't have immunity.
45 minutes. 1 candy, 1 recipe element, 1 chance to stay alive in this competition.
So right now I'm starting to work on my decoration bits.
I have my bones.
I'm going to unmold my skull. All right.
I'm gonna check on my brownies. They really gotta come out. The second I open the oven door, I know I made a mistake by turning up the heat on the oven. My brownies are overcooked. My brownie just came out of the oven and they're a little crispy. I don't have time to remake these brownies and I just gotta make it work at this point. The Hot Mess Express.
30 minutes. Big ghoulish skeleton desserts with sweet candy bar flavors.
This guy is done.
That's cute.
You doing okay, Holly? How is your graveyard coming along?
She's coming along. I'm making Skelly's head right now, and I'm hoping to build my dessert soon.
How soon is soon? Because we don't have very much time left.
5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay.
My skull thing is going pretty well.
We're gonna flip. Now trying to peel off our design. Voila. It's time to fill my Swiss roll. I lay in the whipped ancho chile Mexican chocolate ganache. Throw this bad boy in the freezer. Now that my Swiss roll is in the fridge and it's setting, it's time to work on my favorite part, the bones. I use this pretty much the size of my Swiss roll. So I'm gonna use this to kind of create my base, my rib cage. I pinch on both sides of the log of modeling chocolate and it creates this like spine texture. So once that's done, I start to shape my rib cage along the spine. Trying to just where it is.
Skull mold come out very nice. Everything's looking good here. When you know you don't have the stress to going home, everything comes out so nice. It's just ironic.
Isn't that so?
Isn't that something, Terry?
Having immunity means I can take a lot of risk. So I'm going to make some nougatine and shape it, and I'm going to make that gelatin mold that I never work with. All right, so I'm getting ready to make a gelatin mold that I'm going to pour in this round. I have only 20 minutes for me to airbrush the skull and set up in the gelatin. I'm not sure if it's going to set, but I'm pour it in. Set.
Let's see. Sheep up. So time to do some magic. Time to build. I get my puff pastry out of the oven and it looks golden brown, so I think it's baked.
Wow, that looks good actually.
What kind of mad science that Joel's cooking up in his kitchen?
So I'm tempering my chocolate to make my skull head filled with milk chocolate peanut butter cups. To decorate my chocolate skull, I fill it with some milk chocolate peanut butter cups, and once it's glued together, I paint it with some silver luster dust.
15 minutes remaining.
No, what? Ah! Was that a Manny? I feel your pain. So then I want to make some chocolate branches. So I take some tempered chocolate and I pipe it in an ice bath in kind of like these weird, cool, branchy textures. I take it out of the ice and then I dust it with some powdered sugar. And then I garnish my cheesecake with macerated blueberries and red isomalt skulls. It's probably has a little bit too much, I think, but you know, I want to show the judges I can do it all, that I have versatility. I got the crunch, the peanuts, the blueberries.
5 minutes, bakers.
I still have to unmold that thing. I don't even know if it's gonna work. I know I have immunity, but now I'm running out of time. And my assigned dessert element is a gelatin component.
Oh, it's jiggly.
Is it coming out?
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh.
Oh, it's not coming out right.
Oh. Thierry, I'm gonna go with that skull is being born out of ectoplasm, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yep. All right, that works.
Okay, Skelly, let's give you a makeover.
Some colored.
90 seconds.
Okay, John, I know.
That's it. Whew. Time to kick off this dessert bonanza.
Lord.
Holly, time to bring in some dead ringers for our judges. No more wire. Hang on a minute. It's Mummy Dearest, Zach Young.
Don't fudge with me, John. This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
It's probably not your first time in that outfit.
Saturday night, John.
She's blowing up right now on TikTok. Smash that like button for our mumfluencer, Stephanie Boswell.
So I am now walking on set of Halloween Baking Championship. That's right. Like and subscribe.
And our last judge has some brass bones. It's Skelly's distant cousin, AKA Carla Hall.
I guess the Henson Labs hoedown is a close second to the Met Gala.
All right. This is my job. Judges, skeleton desserts based on Halloween candy. All right, we asked you to use a candy bar and one element of a dessert. What did you get?
So the candy bar that I got is wafers in milk chocolate, and my element is lamination. So this dessert is called Skelly's Day Off. He needed some vitamin D and some tan lines, so here he is. I made Blitz Puff pastry stacked with mascarpone, wafers in milk chocolate filling, followed with milk chocolate ganache.
It's giving skeletal. It's giving unholy realm. Yes, God.
As Gen Z, that was on point.
Thank you.
All right, shall we eat? Serve it up.
I get the milk chocolate. I get the crunch, your puff pastry, the lamination. I think it's undercooked.
I see all of your work in lamination. So lamination, check. Should it have been baked longer? Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Aaron.
So I got wafers and milk chocolate, and my dessert element was mousse. So from bottom to top, I have a chocolate cookie base, and then I have a matcha fouilletine layer for the wafer, a yuzu curd, and then a smoked salt milk chocolate mousse. The decoration on top is made out of fondant. I wanted to kind of bring Skelly climbing out of his grave.
Your work on the headstone, it looks fantastic. It screams skeleton. I know.
That mousse is so like supple and creamy. The green tea, the yuzu, all worked in harmony.
The matcha crispy layer, the milk chocolate mousse, I mean, they're all perfect.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Wow. Way to pull everything out.
He's ticking all the boxes on this one.
Megan, What candy bar did you get?
I got a milk chocolate bar and a crunch layer. So I did a dark cocoa and milk chocolate brownie with a crunch layer of rolled oats and caramel. But for my little secret surprise inside, you know, Halloween, you get your chips and your candy, so I put some chips and pretzels inside of it.
Your skull is fantastic. I think you were able to get such great details, such great features because you hand sculpted it.
This is reading for me a little bit overbaked, almost toward burnt.
Yes.
It's not giving milk chocolate. And the crunch layer, I was so looking forward to because like rolled oats and chewy caramel, but I think they got a little bit hard.
I like that little bit of the potato chips that I got. Unfortunately, this is probably more bitter than Mommy Dearest.
All right, thank you, Megan.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, the skull was great.
Skull was
The
great.
skull was fantastic. The decorating was fantastic.
The dessert was fire, as in came out of the fire.
Hi.
Hello, Lillian.
I got milk chocolate peanut butter cup and compote. So I made a peanut butter cookie and pavlova sandwich with raspberry and plum compote.
I love all the layering here. I love the fact that you can sort of see all of the work that you've done.
I never thought about having a pavlova on top of a cookie with the cream inside. And then the compote brightens everything.
I wish there were a little bit more chocolate to it.
Thank you, Lillian.
Thank you so
Lillian.
much.
Thierry.
My candy bar is a coconut and almond chocolate bar, and the element is a gelatin component.
What have you made?
I made a skull filled with coconut pastry cream, coconut dacquoise, and milk chocolate ganache. Also have some coconut and almond nougatine fingers, and a coconut rum gelatin. The original story was there's a crystal ball where we can see a skull. The crystal melted.
Okay,
okay.
I love that you had immunity and you swung for the fences. The skull looks great. I love the nougatine hands.
It is absolutely giving me the coconut and almond chocolate bar, which was my favorite as a kid.
I understand the rum in the gelatin. It's just strong.
All right, thank you, Thierry.
Thank you very much.
Manny.
So I got the milk chocolate candy bar, and my element was the inlay design. So I have made a milk chocolate Swiss roll with a ancho chile and cinnamon whipped ganache.
This spine is giving me life.
Hey.
I love the playful inlays. They are so sharp. They're so clean.
I think you gave the milk chocolate bar the respect it's entitled to.
Yes.
I love that you took the milk chocolate ganache and you elevated it with all of the flavors of the ancho.
I would have just wanted you to add something with a little, like maybe a soak on the cake, just to bring a little bit more moisture in because it is very rich.
Thank you, Manny.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Joel.
So I got milk chocolate peanut butter cups, and my element was marshmallow. So I made a peanut butter no-bake cheesecake, and then I did a malted milk pretzel crunch, a little macerated blueberries with creme de cassis, and then I put some meringue around it, and then a little bit of gum paste, bones, and creepy other skeletal remains.
Joel, like I told Tina, clean up this mess. There's just too much going on there. I can't focus on the bones.
This is money.
Is it really?
So good. You absolutely get milk chocolate peanut butter cup, and giving us a no-bake peanut butter cheesecake reinforces the marshmallow texture.
It was really delicious. You really dialed in your flavors. Crazy up there, really focused on the blade.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Joel.
so much.
Bakers, you worked your fingers to the bone on your skeleton desserts, and 2 of them were spine-tinglingly good. Joelle.
Yeah.
And our skeleton crew's other favorite was Aaron. But the baker, whose resurrected dessert was dead on, was Aaron. Aaron, the design of your graveyard mousse dessert was simple, but every element was executed precisely, right down to the lettering on the tombstone. The yuzu and milk chocolate played well together, and we got your candy's crispy texture through the yummy matcha wafers and the cookie crunch.
Thank you.
We'll see you and Joelle next week. There were some other bakers who made their bones this week and will be sticking around the lab. Those bakers are Manny, Lillian, and Thierry.
Yay.
Thierry, you won the immunity potion, and you used it to shoot for the moon with a crystal ball that shattered. It was a beautiful disaster, not that successful a bite.
I tried.
But the judges applaud your boldness. Unfortunately, that leaves Megan and Holly. Please step forward. Megan, your brownie was overbaked, almost burnt. And Holly, you created a puff pastry dessert that had lots of layers. Unfortunately, one of them was raw. Sadly, one of you must leave the lab. That baker is Megan.
What?
I'm sorry.
Oh, no. You're Stop it.
I am so incredibly proud of myself, of what I've accomplished. Sometimes you really have to do scary things in life, and this was definitely a scary moment.
Bye, Megan.
Bye, Megan.
Time to head to the cryo chamber. Next time on Halloween Baking Championship, gooey green melted witch desserts.
I broke it.
We are at the witching hour.
No. Witch, please. This is Halloween.
Keyword here.
Yeah. This dessert is going with my grain. Woo-hoo-hoo!
All right. I think I will stop here for tonight. Got a lot of cleanup done, about half of it. So I'm feeling good about tomorrow. I have to fill in these missing parts. Add some more little spirits. It's gonna look good. It's gonna look good. I'm gonna take an intermission. I'll put y'all some music on. Let's see, what do we want to listen to? How about Electro Swing, Halloween Electro Swing. Albums playlist. Let's hear this.